Matt, in your lecture today on engaging music in youth ministry and engaging youth in communal singing, one of the things that you wanted to stress for the pastors and youth pastors in our audience was the virtue of simplicity and repetition in your selection of music. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I think it's really important to not despise the simple things. For those of us who are raised on, the hymnody of the 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th centuries, this is great music, but it's dense. Boy, there's a lot of words. It depends on you holding a hymnal, these sorts of things. And being frankly a fairly good sight reader of both English and music. These are skills that by and large our youth don't have. But anyway, if we were raised on that music, we look at a contemporary praise chorus and we think, this is vapid. There's no there. What is this about? I would, sometimes, let me just admit it, sometimes that's true. But more often than not, I actually think that if you take a look at these things, you think, you got to understand that you're getting something different out of this music than you would get out of a Wesley hymn. What you're getting is music that's creating a space. And often that space is created through repetition of the same line over and over again. I think you see this across musical genres in the worship environments, right? An evangelical praise chorus, it's the same line over and over and over again. Or in the gospel tradition, a gospel choir just kind of vamping on the same line, just over and over and over and over again. It creates a space. Taizé, I think, has a similar thing going on. Again, this is something that the DJs know. You just kind of get that groove going, right? And it creates a space. Now I'm not thinking about what I'm saying next or what I'm singing next. I'm having an opportunity for something transrational. It's actually beyond the line that I'm singing. The line that I'm singing isn't unimportant. It's gonna give some whatness to what's happening. But maybe all it needs to say is it's, "Come, Lord Jesus, come." I'm wanting to be in the presence of Jesus. This isn't just a man who lived 2,000 years ago. This is a living spiritual presence, and I want to encounter that presence. Well, that's enough. That's actually quite rich. There's plenty to go on there. It's an early prayer of the church. Maranatha, come, Lord. So we have precedents for being satisfied with these sorts of simple sayings. And that then goes also for song selection as well. So pick those simple songs and don't be afraid of repeating them. If you're brand new and just starting a music ministry in your youth ministry from scratch, I'd say over a semester, the first semester that you're doing this, you're probably looking at finding 2, 3, or 4, probably the most, songs that you're going to introduce and that your group is really going to be able to learn and start to love. And start to own and feel like, oh, this is our song. When I go to a youth group, and when I hear that song, it reminds me of youth group. You want that familiarity. You want that sense of, oh, I know that song. I don't have to think about the mechanics of singing about it. I don't have to think about what word is next, or what the melody is. I know it, and I'm able to then inhabit this space that's made available for me to have an encounter with God.